My screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible. Yeah.
Okay. Very good morning, everyone. Today, my topic is arts and symbolism from the paper 106. Uh, as we know that William Butler Yeats is regarded as one of the most important representative symbolists of the 20th century in English literature. So today we discuss about Yeats as a symbolist. William Butler Yeats was an Irish poet, dramatist, prose writer, and one of the foremost figures of 20th century literature, a pillar of the Irish literary establishment. And he received a Nobel Prize for Literature in 1923. He, uh, he became the first Irish writer. And first question as a symbolic poet for Yeats in our mind that why W.B. Yeats is considered as a symbolic poet. So in this answer, I want to say that because of the he was very influenced by the 19th century's French symbolist movement. It is the only reason behind his becoming of symbolic poet. And his symbolism was based upon the poetry of Blake, Shelley, and Rossetti. And if we talk about the symbolism in the literature of English, then the symbolism is a literary device that uses symbols and the words, people, marks, location, or abstract ideas to represent something beyond the literary meaning. It is the definition for symbolism in the English literature. Then, in the value of symbolic, there are three primary forms. Uh, this is ideological, comparative, and isomorphic. Ideological meaning is that such as religious and state symbols convey complex sets of beliefs and ideas that indicate the need to do. Comparative meaning is symbols are that just by estimating the similarity or dissimilarity, one thing that an another. Isomorphic means that similar in form and relation. Then symbols have two types of meaning too. That is denotative and connotative meaning. Denotative is that when you mean what you want to say in literary form, and connotation is created when you mean something else and something that might be initially in literary form. It means something extra thing is hidden the words. Then in Yeats' poetry, There are some very famous and major symbols of his poetry. We say we see in other styles. The major symbols is like this: the rose, the tower, the gyre, the wheel, the sword, the sea, the bird, tree, sun, moon, gold, silver, earth, and water, air, and the fire. These are the most famous symbols which Yeats uses in all most of his poems. And then we talk about uh, the poem, the second coming. What type of symbols Yeats uses in this poem? This is the image of the poem Second Coming. There are the second coming of Jesus Christ. The second coming is written in 1919, and it is close of World War I. It's a violent and mesmerizing poem that outlines the end of an era and a coming great destruction. Its symbolism largely centers around this destruction and rebirth of Jesus Christ. And most analysis of this poem stem from this type of symbols. The first symbol of this poem, the second coming, is the falcon. Here is the image of how the falcon looks like. The symbol of falcon described in the second coming is symbolic of the human race, especially in modern times as it has become disconnected from its roots. The symbol of falcon, being unable to hear the falconer, could also represent what it's perceived as a collective loss of religious faith across the world. And the second symbol is the gyre. The gyre is the symbol in Yeats' poem. The second coming is used to represent the swirling, turning landscape of life. And gyres appear in many of Yeats' poems. He uses this to represent the systems that make up life. The push pulls between freedom and control that spin together to create existence. So we can say that gyre is the most famous and important symbol of Yeats' poetry. And the third symbol is the sphinx. As we have discussed earlier, and rebirth also symbolizes the pagan world that predicted the Christian era. This is like the ancient Egyptian who built the actual Sphinx. The Sphinx rises up to slow steward in Bethlehem. And we conclude the topic with this that W.B. Yeats was one of the major symbolist poets of 20th century, and he also using the illusive imagery in the symbolic structure and throughout his his career as a symbolist. And here is my references of this presentation. And thank you very much. And if you any have questions, also can ask me.
Yes, you can stop presenting now. And yes, questions. Who is going to ask questions? Bhavyang and Anjali. Bhavyang, you can ask a question. Anjali, you can
Apart,
type your question.
apart from the symbolist, does yet have any other speciality?
Yes,
Hello,
apart from symbolist, Yeats also was a romantic poet. He wrote a very famous and most interesting romantic poetry also.
Okay, fine. Yes, Bhumika. Citations, you still need to work on citation. It is not only giving URL. Yeah? Bhavyang has given properly surname, name, the writer, and then the URL comes. So that is very important in citation also. And
Yes, sir.
even in your slides also you need to work. You gave a background image and then on that you imposed the thing, but it was not merging together with that. So you have to see that how you can sync your graphics in your presentation. It should not look very gaudy. The images which you use should be appropriate with what you are trying to make. It should not look very gaudy or unnecessarily kind of designs or fast colors are made. That should not look there. You should always make a good combination of small image bulleted points. That is always a good one image for symbolically representing what you want to say. It always a good idea to do that, so that you can do so. Some of the good images you have put, but how you make a square in between, that you need to rework also. And also speak little bit
Yes, sir.
louder. Speak little bit louder, so your voice is clearly